This is a follow-up to the last video that I did. And it's going to be about the other movies in the series. And the good news is, there really wasn't much changes made. And the really good news is that the changes that were made are not as bad as you think. So we're going to talk about the other movies in the series and which changes were made and which movies had those changes today. So here we go. Now when it comes to An American Tail, Five Goes West, it is a breath of fresh air. It was left untouched, and the only change that was really made to the movie was a doodle. The doodle was considered inappropriate for kids, so it was removed from future home video releases. Now, if you want to get the movie with the doodle, you're in luck because most home video releases of Five Goes West do have it. I have the 1992 VHS release, but it's in bad shape, and I'm eventually going to get another one that is in really good shape. I also have the 1998 VHS release, which of course came in this box set, and it's in much better condition because I've hardly played it. Every single VHS release has the doodle. Every single Laserdisc release has the doodle. And the very first DVD release has the doodle. The only time that the doodle was removed was for the later releases. And the ones that don't have the doodle are the current Blu-ray release and the current DVD release, which of course is the 4-movie collection. Now, most of the home video releases are in 4:3. There are a couple of releases that are in widescreen, and that of course is the current DVD and current Blu-ray releases. But there's also one more that was released in widescreen, and this is the only one that has the doodle, and that's the reason why I picked this up. And that of course is the Laserdisc release. There's actually 2 Laserdisc releases, except the other one is in 4:3. This is the very first widescreen release of Five Goes West on any format. I got this because it was in widescreen. And that's the only way you can get the movie in widescreen with the doodle. However, it's not a big deal if your copy does not have the doodle. You are still watching the movie, its original aspect ratio, and in its original theatrical form. Because the current releases are in widescreen and they are in their correct aspect ratio. So no matter which release you get, you are getting the original theatrical version. Nothing else was changed. The only thing that was changed was the removal of the doodle because it was inappropriate and they detected it. And the doodle is no longer available on current releases. And that of course is the current DVD release and the current Blu-ray release. And I think the DVD release is the same transfer as the Blu-ray release. So there you go. You're getting the original theatrical version no matter what. So it doesn't really matter if the doodle is included or not. That's totally up to you what you want to do. If you want it with the doodle, that's fine. If you just want the original theatrical version and don't care if the doodle is on it, that's totally up to you. Now when it comes to An American Tail, The Treasure of Manhattan Island, it's still the original version. Nothing was changed from future home video releases. The only real change that was made from future home video releases is the Roman numeral 3 is not included in any of the future home video releases. It was only included on the VHS release. Yep, the only minor issue is that the Roman numeral 3 wasn't included with an American Tail 3 when it came out on DVD, and that was really the only change that was made to the movie. Besides that, you were getting the original version. So there's really nothing to complain about if you buy the DVD or not. However, if you want the movie with the Roman numeral 3 in the title, you're going to have to track down the VHS release. But besides that, though, you are getting the movie without any changes. The only thing that was changed was with the Roman numeral 3, and that was changed for the title. Besides that, though, you are getting the original version no matter which release, either on VHS or DVD. And now it's time to talk about the changes that were made for the fourth and final movie. That is right. Nothing was changed for the fourth and final movie. You are getting the exact same version without any changes whatsoever, even though there wasn't any changes made to the third movie except for the title. The fourth movie, nothing. You're getting the original movie in its original glory, and no changes were made. So, which version should you get? It's obviously DVD, because the thing about it is it's in better picture quality. And the VHS release, that's totally up to you, because it's going to be the same as the DVD release no matter what. So you're getting the exact same version, and take your pick. You can pick VHS or DVD. That's totally up to you. I recommend DVD though. In conclusion, there was really not much changes made to the final three movies. And what was made of the final three movies was relatively minor in comparison to the very first movie. You were still getting the original version of those particular movies. So Universal, why can't we get the original version of An American Tail? Why does it have to be the exact same version that was put out on DVD in the 2000s? Why did it have to be that particular version and not the one that was released in the 80s and 90s? Why are you keeping the original theatrical version of An American Tail in your vaults? Why is it not being released on DVD, Blu-ray, and Ultra HD? Why? The original versions of the other three movies have been released and are widely available. Why can't we have that with the very first movie? Because I'm recommending people to stay away from the 4-movie collection because it has American Tail on it and it's not the original theatrical version. I'm recommending to people to get the final 3 movies separately because An American Tail is the only one that was butchered. I want a proper release of An American Tail, its original theatrical version, and in its corrected aspect ratio if you're going to put it out in widescreen. That's what I want. That's what everybody else wants for their children. Why can't we have the original theatrical version to show to our children? Why can't we have that? Let me know, Universal. I want to know. Because the thing about it is, the original theatrical version was better. I'm really sorry about that. The original theatrical version of American Tail was better. And as a result, until you give us the original theatrical version, I can't recommend anything with the first movie. including the 4-movie collection. I recommend that people get the other movies separately, because those are the original versions. Even though they have some slight changes, they are minor. That's the reason why I'm recommending everybody to get those movies separately. They are available separately. And of course, you're getting the original versions of those. When it comes to An American Tail, the older releases before DVD are the only ones that I really recommend. And that is really sad, because those are dead formats. I want the original theatrical version on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4 Ultra HD, 4K Ultra HD. I want that. Why can't we have that, Universal? It's ridiculous. And that's all I'm really saying. And this has been my follow-up to the last video that I did, because I wanted to talk about the other movies and talk about which changes that were made to those. Thankfully, though, it wasn't like in the very first movie. But it's really sad that the first movie got butchered so badly. So, there you go, everybody, and I'm done. I am done. And I'm doing another video about An American Tail, and I apologize to the dogs barking. So, I will be back. Sorry about the dogs barking, I do apologize. I was going to wrap this thing up anyway. I will say, though, if you want to get the final 3 movies on DVD, that's totally up to you. And of course, Five Goes West is on Blu-ray as well. But like I said, don't get the 4-movie collection because it has An American Tail. I'm trying to send Universal a message. The original theatrical version of An American Tail needs to be released on newer formats. We don't want it to be always on the older formats that have died over the years. We want a format that is currently available. And if it's going to be released in widescreen, it has to be in its corrected aspect ratio, not the aspect ratio that the movie had on Blu-ray. And that's all I really gotta say. And hopefully Universal gets the message. Spread the word. Do a video on it. Do a video response. Do anything. So that way Universal responds to our message and gives us the original theatrical version of An American Tail. Either they license it off to another company, so that way the company can do the original theatrical version, or Universal releases the original theatrical version for the first time in decades. Because we want the original theatrical version. It needs to be released again. That's all I really gotta say. And like I said, everybody, the last 3 movies, you can get them how you wish, because they've always been the original version and nothing really has been changed. There were a few things, but not much. Thank you all for watching. And I'm going to be doing more videos on American Tail, because I got stuff that I want to show you. Because guess what? I'm going to be doing a ranking on all 4 movies pretty soon. That is right, because I'm buying the remaining movies so that way I can check them out. I've never seen them. I've never seen the last 2 movies. I'm going to get them on DVD so that way I can do a ranking. So I'm going to be showing those movies in the near future because I'm buying them off of eBay. So that way I can do a video on them. So there you go, everybody. I've said enough, and I'd like to thank you all for watching. Like I said, spread the word. Let them know that you want An American Tail, the original theatrical version, on a newer format. Thank you. Peace out, everybody, and spread the word. Take care, y'all. Peace out. And yep, if you noticed at the beginning of the video, I showed this. It was in the background. But of course, there is a surprise for you all. Because in the next video, I am doing an American Tail series update. That is right. And of course, you already know that this is the only one that didn't have changes made. But I'm not going to show what I got until the next video. I'm only going to show you this. This is going to be one of the things that I'm going to show in the next video. And of course, now you know all the changes that were made in the last 3 movies of the series. And of course, it wasn't much. Now you know. Thank you all for watching, everybody. Peace out. And now you know about all the changes that were made in the final 3 movies of the series. Thank you.